All right, sixth graders, you guys are learning so many important foundational skills these last few weeks. And another important thing to know about is exponents. Maybe many of you have already seen them. Exponents is like repetitive multiplication. Now, you know that multiplication is repetitive addition. So today, I am going to use the example of x. So this right here is an exponent. That x is going to tell us how many times we have the number 5. So if we had 5 to the second power, we would have 5 times 5, right? There are 2 of these. Count them. 1, 2. Now, if we just had 5 by itself, it's a lot like 5 to the first power, because we would just write 5, right? Because there are 1 of these, right? Now, if we had 5 to the third power, we would need to see how many 5s? 3, right? I almost wrote 3. Now, the biggest mistake we see is that people think this is like a multiplication problem and say 5 times 2. But 5 times 2 is 10, and 5 times 5 is 25, so that wouldn't be right. So we would have to say 5 times 5 times 5 to get 5 to the third power, okay, guys? Now you'll see a lot of examples that you're practicing tonight. It shouldn't be too hard, but I want you to remember how many numbers you see is shown right here in that exponent. So if you see 7 to the third power, you should write 7 3 times, right? And know that they're being multiplied. Remember, our signs for multiplication can be an X, a dot, or parentheses. So I could write this like 7 times 7 times 7. I just want you to remember those symbols as well, okay? So remember, repetitive multiplication. You're going to fill out the form today and do the worksheet. Most of your work, it looks like, will be in the assignment, so you are not required to add a slide with your picture. But it's important that you're understanding these concepts. So hopefully this is another day for you to do a little catch up if you need to. But just remember, that's how many times. And I think something that might 2 to the first power, we don't ever usually write this, but you just need to remember that you'll see 1 of those, right? And if I had 2 to the 16th power, I would have how many 2's? Write how many 2's you would have there. Pause your video if you haven't and write how many 2's you would have. Okay, so you should have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and remember, you're multiplying all of these. I'm not necessarily asking you to do that, but in your assignment, you will have to do some multiplication. So like here, if you had 5 to the third power, you have to know that that is 3 5s, right? So 5 times 5 is 25 times 5. Well, how many would 5 quarters be? We know quarters are 25 cents. That would be $1.25. So we know that's equal to 125. Guys, think of what you know. Make it simpler for yourselves, okay? All right, I think you should have this down. One more practice. 2 to the 5th power. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 times 2, right, equals 8 times 2 equals 16 times 2 equals 32. Now what if I wrote how would you write that as an exponent? Well, you would take that number that is being multiplied repeatedly, and then you would count 1, 2, 3, and 3 would be your exponent. So you would take this number that's being multiplied repeatedly and write it. So you would write 4, and then 1, 2, 3 would be your exponent. Now, how would you write this as an exponent? Well, you would take your base number that's being multiplied repeatedly, and you would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 5th power. Now, I know it's a little tricky, with your exponent to figure that out. So if you have to, use like a little caret to show that it's going up there. So I would see 7 caret 5. I will know what you mean by that if you're having a hard time with the formatting of typing your answers in. Okay, guys? I totally understand because I'm really bad at formatting my answers too. I know there is a way to do that. I guess I need to search for it. Maybe Google how to write an exponent, right? Alright, have a super awesome Tuesday. Exponents, exponents, exponents. We'll do a little bit of review on them again tomorrow. Happy day!